Okay, so methods of delivering user training. Training end users is very important as productivity greatly depends on how familiar they are with the system. Effective user training is an essential part of introducing a new system. Also, the better the user understands the system, the more satisfied they will be. And here are some methods of delivering the user training. Self-instruction, which is where users can learn how to use the system on their own, provided that they have the right materials to learn from. It can take in the form of reading a manual or watching a YouTube tutorial. And then there's formal classes, which is just users sitting in a classroom listening to an instructor who shows and explains how to use the system. This type of training is mostly used for training a large amount of staff. And then there's online learning, where an instructor training one user or a smaller group of users by some kind of remote connection, such as Skype, Microsoft Teams, or Zoom. And I'd say that this is the most effective method of training. And then the advantages of self-instruction include that it is cheap, as only materials are needed, whereas teachers or buildings are not required. There is also a flexible timeline, as you do not need to meet a specific deadline or organize a meeting with anyone. Also, it is relative to the user, as the training is tailored to exactly what the user wants to learn. And the disadvantages include that with no guidance, the user may feel lost or overwhelmed. Also, unstructured learning means certain features might be misunderstood or ignored. The advantages of formal classes include a structured learning environment, and also there are experts such as teachers on hand to answer questions. The curriculum is also designed to teach all aspects, including the ones that might be misunderstood or difficult to grasp. On the contrary, it is expensive to pay for all teachers, buildings, and facilities to run the classes. There is a rigid schedule and curriculum, and finally, there is not much personalization possible. For online learning, the advantages are pretty much the same as the ones for formal classes, except online learning has the advantage of having a flexible locations. Therefore, you can access the class anywhere, whether you're at home or at a coffee shop, as long as you have an internet connection. However, it is expensive, as teachers, devices, and an internet connection is required. It can also feel remote with no quick hands-on teaching. It also has to be computer-based, which may be a problem for people who are unfamiliar with technology. And now I'm going to ask some questions from the class. What is a disadvantage of self-instruction?
Ask Viraj.
Self-instruction, it's overwhelming, so a user obviously doesn't.
Yes. Okay. And what are formal classes? Viraj?
Okay. So formal classes are classes where there's a teacher and there's students, and it's in a formal structure.
Excellent. And which delivery method of training is the cheapest? Adna? Ahmed?
Yeah?
Yes. And what is one reason why delivering user training is important?
Someone on the line.
Omar Yassin?
Because it means that the users can use the software as intended and causes less issues.
Sorry, repeat that.
Users can use the software or program as intended, causing less issues.
Okay, well done. And which method would be the worst for someone who is unfamiliar with computers? Pablo?
Online training or any kind that involves IT or users of a computer.
All right. Okay, thank you.